Rebekah was Isaac's wife, who was also her second cousin, and she was the mother of the first twins in the Bible, Jacob and Esau. So we first get introduced to Rebekah in the Bible when Abraham, Isaac's dad, sends out his servant to go and try and find a wife for Isaac. So in those times, it was quite normal for the parents to try and find a wife or husband for their child. So Abraham actually sends out his servant and he says, "Go and find a wife for my son." And this servant specifically asks God for a sign. He gets up to a well and he asks God that the woman that he has chosen for Isaac will not only give water to himself, but will offer water for his camels. And Rebekah did exactly that. So Isaac and Rebekah married, and for a very long time, Rebekah couldn't have any children. So Isaac prays on her behalf, and she becomes pregnant with the first twins mentioned in the Bible, Jacob and Esau. So while Rebekah is pregnant, she feels that the two children inside of her are struggling against each other. They're fighting against each other. So she asks God why. Why does she feel like this? And God says that there are two nations in her womb, and that these two nations will be against each other. And this came true. Jacob, whose name was then changed to Israel, became the father of the 12 tribes of Israel. And Esau, his older brother, became the father of the Edomites. And the Edomites were in war against Israel for a very long time. So yes, there were two nations in her womb, and these two nations were against each other. Now both Isaac and Rebekah had their favorites between the two sons. So Jacob was Rebekah's favorite, and Esau, the eldest, was Isaac's favorite. Now, because Esau was the firstborn out of the two twins, the birthright of the firstborn should have gone to Esau. But Rebekah, loving Jacob and him being her favorite, helped him into deceiving Isaac in giving him the birthright of the firstborn. When Esau found out that his brother Jacob and his mother Rebekah had both tricked Isaac, he planned to kill Jacob. And Rebekah, wanting to save her favorite son, comes up with a plan to help save Jacob. But it again involved in her lying to her husband Isaac. There are a few things that we can learn from Rebekah's life and her choices. The first is that her marriage to Isaac was a result of God's providence. Her pregnancy was a result of God answering prayer. And the lives of her sons were to fulfill a prophecy. We see that even though human beings do wrong and sin, God's plan will always be fulfilled. Through his mercy and his wisdom, we see that God can ultimately bring about his will despite our sins or the sins of others against us.